Welcome. I haven't produced any content lately, and this is not exactly what I had in mind, but it's interesting. So, I did a bonehead move. Getting ready to switch out my nozzle. I have normally a CHT MZE on here, but I want to print in ASA carbon fiber. So I needed to remove it and replace it with a pass-through MZE and use a normal bimetal nozzle on that. But as you can tell, it sheared off. I was silly, put too much strength against it. It is copper. Hopefully you can see that. So no cheap knockoff here. That was bought from Amazon, and yes, I know I need to replace. Oh, I've got in my list of prints, but it's still holding up. So, what are we going to do? A few buddies out on Discord are like, well, just heat it up and see if we can wiggle it loose. There's a good possibility that, if we turn it this way, there we go. There is a little bit left, so that we could maybe get some pliers on, get some hold on that. Getting a thread puller to back that out, another possibility, but I can't find one that small, or getting to be that small, that I'm happy with. So I don't want to spend money on a set, or even a singleton, because singletons are more expensive than a set. But in the last resort, I just buy a new hot end, and that's probably a topic for a later date. I have a few that are dear to my heart, or at least my mind's heart. So let's try and take a stab at this. And need to power it up, of course. And, you know, I'll have to say this aloud because I can't say it goes without saying, which is absolutely not true. What I'm doing here is dangerous. I'm going to heat up this hot end. If this fan stops for any odd reason, the darn thing will start to, well, deform in my hands. And I don't want that to happen, and I don't want to get burned. So folks at home, if you're getting this idea and you're like, oh, wow, I could do that too. Well, sure, but be careful, right? So let's let things warm up a bit. And let's double check while I'm here, make sure I have, okay, that one's snug. It's loose, but it's snug. I'm thinking if I can, chunky. If I can get a grip on it and get it loose, then I'm safe. And it'll save me quite a bit of money, of course. We all need to save a little bit of money these days. And when I was saying that, well, this is not quite the content I want to make, I do have topics I want to talk to you about. You probably see a little bento box back there. That was fun. I did not print. I printed the blue parts. The black parts I got into a kit. I was a little lazy. I didn't want to wait to source all the parts. I'll save that for another video. Now, Cindy Clipper. Yet another video I wanted to make. I probably still will, because I've been wanting to talk about this. I am going to publish, this is like V0.9. It's damn close. So we need heat, hot end. Oh, let's try 240 for now. Fan's blowing, that's good. We're just gonna let that sit there for a little bit. I'm loving this. It's, again, I want to save it for another video. It's not for everyone. TLDR, go to Teaching Tech. He talks about it. Fun little project, affordable fun little project. And I did some things, I added some things to make it more interesting, at least for me. But I like it. Does it do the same thing as a clipper screen? No. But that's not the point. All right. Where are we at? It says 240. Yep, that's hot. You know what? I'd go a little higher. Let's do 275. I have a 60-watt heater on that, so that's why it came up pretty quick. And other things, I don't know if I spoke about the enclosure, but I am printing ASA now. If the air filtration didn't give it away already, I was in preparation of, I have some ASA CF in the dryer right now in anticipation actually make some parts for the printer. And yeah, I'm going to post some of that stuff up when it's done. I'm working with a few of my colleagues on different projects. All right, we're at target now. The other neat thing is, if I wiggle the thermistor a little too much, it'll shut down. So let's see if I can do this. Don't worry, don't jump. It's just a noise. I can't get enough bite. Man. Come on. Ah. All right. So that is the actual error. Verify heater. Well, yeah. And that's what happens, folks. Should it be happening? Debatable, right? Let's face it, it's a little tiny wire stuck into a hole in the side of a copper block. What do you think? That's not budging. Let's see if we can heat it up again. Let's go. Oh, wow, it really dropped. 101. Let's go back to, let's do 280. I don't care. Let's see if this will, I doubt this will work. Yeah, there's no bite at all. It's not grabbing. Now, my dad was a watch and clock repairman. He would have had the tools for this. Even though you're thinking, oh, wow, you know, watches have much smaller, you know, yes, but he worked on clocks too. So it wouldn't have been metric, it would have been imperial, but still, who cares? As long as it would fit. And actually there's room enough to drill that. I don't know if I want to go through all that trouble, but I could drill it just a bit, ever so carefully. And maybe get, I think I saw it. 5/32 was the smallest. Yeah, that's not biting at all. Where are we at? 1.5. Let's try this again. We're at 281. Come on. Please. Maybe? Nah, it's not budging. Not budging. Ah, there we go again. Not unexpected. But annoying. Well, that could be all there is to say right now until I get a better idea or better tools. Again, I'm going to have to weigh weigh the cost of tools, which means I could fix this again in the future versus buying a new hot end and still having this one around. I could fix it on my own in my own time. So I have to balance that out in my head, sleep on it. Like I said, I had a few other hot ends on my list. Looking at Dragon UHF or even a Dragon Ace. The Ace, I'd have to wait a while. The UHF, I'm fortunate enough to have 3D West down the road. Kind of gives you a clue where I'm living. But they got the ultra high flow in stock. What else could I do here? Really, it's slipping. Copper, is just soft. That's the deal here. Okay, I'm gonna wreck one of my pliers here. If I can. Clippers. I banged these up. These are what, $10? Nail a shoe in the wall with a high heel. Use clippers to try and get purchase on a soft copper screw. You go figure. And what if I did have a tool to back this out, it'd probably work really well because it is soft. Gosh, it makes me want to run down to Ace Hardware. But I mean, that's stuck in there good. I know on the camera, it's hard to judge how much pressure exactly I'm exuding on this. Obviously, hey. Everything's a nail, ain't it? Gosh, it did give. A little more, come on. Come on. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is going to take a little time. Ooh. And last thing, I'm cutting into it. That's the sad part. Well, not that I'm trying to save anything. The thread's the thread, right? The damage is done. But it was spinning ever so slowly. Come on. What I'm afraid I was doing, I felt it give, and I'm wondering okay, I don't care. See, that's another handy thing here. I don't have to reach over. I'm using my phone to record. I don't have to reach over and try and get to fluid to restart things or flip a switch or anything like that. It's making some progress, so I'm not pulling anyone's leg here. But I am having to be very, very gentle. Gentle. Yeah, okay. Let's let this heat up again. But that's progress. I mean, I just need a new MZE. I bought this particular one off Amazon, so I'll buy another one. It'll probably come in Monday. I'm back in business. I am happy with my TZ20V6. That's what's in there. It's a lightweight. So I know it claims 33 whatever on the flow. And I've gotten close to that. Actually, I've hit those numbers, but I don't like some of the results. So you don't pick the fastest flow on the test. You always back down a bit, and you'll get a better print. Slower is always better, but sometimes you just want to get the print. You all know. You've been there. You're like, yeah, but faster, but slower. Depends on what you want, right? Prototyping, get the damn thing done. Final print, maybe you want to spend a little time. There, come on. Come on. Ah. Actually, I'm gonna bang this up enough. Nope, I've actually heard it enough that I can't do anything. So 240. I'm worried that I'm going to deform it to a point where I'm going to lose all purchase on it. That's what I'm most worried about. And actually, for those who are curious, it's not hot. This is hot, so don't touch. Rest is fine. And that's how it should be, folks. That's what your tool head should be, so it doesn't melt in your hands. And no, I don't have the side fans blowing. The part fans blowing. I'm not printing anything. Don't mind my dog. Yeah, I'm just obliterating it now. That's what I was most worried about. I'm just... so close, yet so far away. Come on. A little more. A little more. Come on. It's just slipping. Am I at target? Nah. Let's bump this up again. A little more. But I am a little nervous now because it's starting to just grip and slip. much thread is on this thing? The problem is, with the cutters, I was actually able to feel it move. These big pliers, I'm not feeling anything. Ah, stop it. I know. I don't mean it. But we gotta get this done. It's like pulling a tooth, right? How is it stuck in there anymore? At this point, I should be able to get it out cold, but it doesn't seem like it's moving at all now. I'm tempted. That maybe you can't cross thread bringing something out. But this video's getting a little bit long in the tooth now. I think you've all seen progress in my stupidity. Makes me wonder, what is holding onto it so badly? Hold on. So, that is how much thread I should be dealing with. This is a slightly different model MZE. That's my nozzle on there, my bimetal. Really? It's literally holding on by like 3 threads. You can see how badly I've mangled it, and that's just horrible. Take a Dremel and potentially see, I'm actually cutting into it. Wow. Maybe you'll all take something home from this. You know, if this ever happens. You go, oh yeah, I remember. Copper's soft. Yes, it is. 258, come on. Common theme, ain't it? All right, I'm fairly confident I can get this done, but I am not confident that I have time at the moment. Oh, haha. And I don't think the camera can pick that up, but that is filament. Which means, yeah, we are clean. I've done it all in one take. How about that? As if I couldn't do it anymore. Probably a good time to get in there and clean it just a bit. Does that look copper to you? It's kind of hard to tell. There is some conjecture that there are some knockoffs of this particular hot end because it is so affordable to make, well, cheap to make over there. Let's just put it that way. And that some of them are not copper. And that has a copperish look in there. Let's try something. Just one more thing before I close up. For those in a different hobby, you will recognize this as a wand to magnetically turn on the switches for your N-scale or HO railroad cars. It is a magnet, and yeah, it's, gosh, maybe it isn't copper. That sticks right on. Is it this guy that's copper? Hold on. Oh, okay. This at the end is not, or very little magnetic, whereas the clip is absolutely magnetic. So maybe I did not get a knockoff, and the fan stopped. I hope that's because we're below, what are we at? 47. Okay, that's fine. Fan's allowed to turn off when it's cold. So folks, I'm gonna close up here. I'm gonna finish my order from AMZ because I can't use this guy. Well, why can't I? I don't know. Can I get that in focus? Where is it? There. It's a CHTMZ. They did a fire sale over at Triangle Labs because they're trying to get rid of them. Why? Because they had a licensing problem with Bondtech. So they couldn't produce them anymore. They had a ton in stock. They were basically selling these at, I think I picked these up at $6 a piece. So, and free shipping. Or maybe it was shipping for a certain amount. I can't recall right now. So I bought 3 of these specific ones. I should have bought a ton more, really. And I'll clean that up. It does look like it's leaky. And I'm wondering why. That is a TZ head. And yeah, it did mangle it a bit. That'll be for topic for another day. No, I don't go about mangling things. So that's it for today. Like I said, I wanted to do some more content. I want to talk about cheap yellow display and the Clipper software behind it. This is just, let's see if I can, awesomely cool. Not for everyone's going to be like, oh wait, no, I don't really want that. Corner bracket. I wish they had they have a little icon there, but if I actually set up printing, it won't have the icon on the print. I think they're working on it. Let's put it this way. It's a one-person open source project. So if you want to put in a PR to fix something or to add something, do it. And I might do that. I love these little projects. I love contributing. So I'll do a different video on that. I'll do a video on the bento box and why it's hooked up to my auxiliary fan hookup. Remember, I used to have a light up here. Ever since I got the enclosure, I actually don't need that light up there. Let's see if I can. That one. Usually that's off. Usually this one's on, and because it's all reflective, I get enough light from my camera. So I've been I'm happy with this closure. I thought I'd hate it. I like looking at my printer. I like having it. I like to watch it in natural light. I thought it was going to drive me nuts to have it enclosed. That's just my head, right? But no, this is a good deal. I think I spent like 25 bucks on it. Good deal for the enclosure. This is a Yopi. I don't know. It's on the flap. It's a very common one out there. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it at Ali. You can find it at all sorts of places. So yeah, I have this hooked up, which means it's on a pin, which means I can control it through Clipper. And Orca Slicer also has a guide on how you can set up your filaments to run it when you need it. So I only need to run this when I print ASA. And, oh, I don't know, I don't think you can see this, but that is thermistor hooked to the ebb here so I can measure chamber heat. Not, people will probably smile or they will laugh out loud going, really? You measure your chamber? Yeah, I know, all right? But still, it's better than not having one. And I had a little stand-up thermometer, and I'm rambling. I had a little stand-up thermometer in here, and it was grossly inaccurate. So having it hooked into the ecosystem, I know it's not perfectly accurate, but it works, and I am happy with it. And that's what matters. So I will wrap up on that note. Thanks for watching my little endeavor. We will be printing again soon. I can't wait. Where's the box? Printing ambrosia. Does it get in there? ASACF in dark blue, which looks black. What color is your CF? Black. No, it's red. No, it's black. Anyway, have a good evening, folks. Take care.